Well, I'm joined now by a former parliamentarian who served with many of the Conservatives who will be passing judgment on Erin O'Toole's leadership, Lisa Raitt, former deputy leader of the Conservative Party and a former leadership candidate herself at one point. Lisa Raitt, good to see you again. Thanks for your time tonight. What are your observations on what's being described as a revolt against Erin O'Toole? As you watch all of this, what are you thinking?
Well, my observation, first and foremost, it seems to have been brewing for a long time. There are two ways in which to remove a leader. One is by having the leader resign, having the pressure put on the leader so that they go of their own volition, which is what happened with Andrew Scheer. And the other one is to have a leadership review. And that leadership review is one in which it's the membership of the party that makes the decision, and it happens at a national convention. What we have here now is the Reform Act giving the powers to the members of Parliament to remove the leader and appoint an interim leader. But that isn't recognized by the Conservative Constitution, which says the only way to start a leadership race is by having the membership vote that they want to have it happen. So they're kind of in a catch-22.
Right. So you're thinking here they could go through this, let's say for the purpose of discussion, that they were to vote to have Erin O'Toole step down, and that could happen perhaps as early as the caucus meeting tomorrow. How could he react to that? Could he point to the Constitution, say, I don't have to step down, this is up to party members?
He can say that I'm not leaving as the party leader, or you can't start the process for a new leadership because it has to be the members that vote. And it's part of the Constitution. If you lose an election at the next national convention, you are put up for review by the membership. And that convention, by the way, is now set for August of 2023.
But
I view...
Sorry, go ahead, finish.
No, I said I view this as a tactic to push Erin out the door because it doesn't yield immediately what it is that the MPs want, which is they want him gone.
So, but in practical terms, Constitution, notwithstanding, you have this vote of caucus. If the caucus is not behind the leader, how does he continue?
Well, he said he's going to fight it out tomorrow. That's what the content of his statement was, that they're all going to settle it tomorrow during this caucus meeting one way or the other. As I said, maybe this is the tactic to have him voluntarily step down, but Erin's a fighter. And if he thinks he has more support within the membership as opposed to within his own caucus, then that's the path he'll go.
How much of this do you believe is all about, and it certainly we've heard lots of criticism of Erin O'Toole's leadership from those who don't like his leadership from the day after the election. How much of this and the timing of this is a hangover from that, or Erin O'Toole's more recent policy choices, or perhaps even the split between the western flank of the party and maybe some of the MPs from other parts of the country?
I think that a lot of the members of Parliament felt that this was an election for the Conservatives to win. They were doing well in the polls, and then it all fell apart at the end. I think there was hopes that this review that was commissioned by the party, that James Cumming carried out for the party, was going to be a lot more declarative in terms of what were the mistakes. And when the results came out, it praised Erin for his leadership, which did not actually jive with what the members of Parliament and the candidates had felt was their experience in the actual campaign. So I think that they decided, well, this report isn't going to do anything for us. We still feel the same way. We don't see him moving in terms of his leadership. And as a result, we're just going to take whatever course of action we have in front of us, and it's this, through the Reform Act.
Tell me about the challenges you think he faces. Let's say that he survives this vote in caucus, but he will know that a significant chunk of caucus members want him gone. How does he move forward after that?
Well, it's going to be tough tomorrow because my understanding is that the meeting is going to be completely virtual. It's not going to be about people in a room, eyeball to eyeball, looking at one another. And that actually creates space for people to make decisions that aren't, they may not feel it in the moment. They may think it's a great idea, but not really feel it in the moment. So it's actually almost easier for the no's to win, meaning the ones who don't want Erin anymore, to win the vote than it is for Erin to motivate his supporters to vote in favor of him. So it'll be a tough day for them tomorrow, especially since it's all going to be through the beautiful beautiful Zoom functions or the WebEx functions that they have tomorrow.
Right. I mean, there are some complications perhaps around this that they have to sort out. I think my understanding is supposed to be a secret ballot for this kind of a vote.
Yeah.
And how do you do that virtually? I mean, there could be some serious challenges to make this happen, but we'll watch for that. Look, here we are with the Conservative Party once again talking about leadership, internal leadership battles. And I wonder how you think that plays out in the public, the wider public.
So I think they're curious. I mean, I know that I get a few, looks at the bank where I work saying, what's going on there? There seems to be some turmoil, but I don't think it really has as big an impact on Canadians writ large as it does to people who are well versed in what's happening in the Conservative Party. And I think that's the reality of it. It hits Conservatives harder than it does the general public. The general public probably thinks, well, here we go again, another political party. What matters is who's the leader during the election and do they have a plan to lead into the next election? And I guess the members who have put forth this notice saying that they want to vote on Erin's leadership have decided they'd like to go into the next election with a new leader. And as a result, they want it to happen right away.
All right, Lisa Raitt, always great to get your perspective. Great to talk to you again. A reminder to our viewers, we'll have more on this coming up with colleagues in the press gallery. We'll talk about this as well. But Lisa Raitt, thanks for your time tonight. Appreciate it.
You bet.